Greetings to you in the name of the Lord Jesus Christ. Truth plus love equals life. This is something that just absolutely blew my mind, folks. I had seen this by listening to some videos of a lady named Michelle Gibson online. I'm here to tell you she's in on it. She's dropping clues. I hope she chooses Jesus. She's a fascinating person and just an absolutely, she's a brilliant researcher. There's no way she's not getting this from a whole bunch of people, and she'll tell you that too. Yeah. She's got this little golden lion with an orb, and it's literally the mark of the beast. Folks, Merkaba is practically the name mark of the beast. That's what they call the hexagram. It's literally called the Merkaba, the mark of the beast, Merkaba. The Kaaba stone. They do a whirlwind around this in Saudi Arabia and Mecca. As in Merkaba. It's the mark of the beast is the whirlwind around him. Now, there's a good whirlwind in the Bible with Jericho. Okay, there's energy and intention. Okay. Merkaba, you don't want. Having said this, I do hope she comes around. I hope she sees these videos. I really do. I don't know how to contact her. I posted some on her sites. This is a place, I forget exactly what it's called. It's in Netherlands. It's like Bortange or something. Check me out. This is called STARFORT. This is something that I'm sure I've seen before, but I wasn't really aware until I'd seen her work just how prevalent they are. It is a beautiful design. If you'll notice, that's a friggin' pentagon in the middle of it. So let's talk about this. Simply 5 equidistant points is not of itself necessarily satanic. If I had 5 people in a band and we're all in a circle, are you necessarily satanic because you're equidistant from each other? No. If you look at this picture of the STARFORTs, these were clearly meant for several reasons, I'm sure, because the ancients were geniuses. Remember, higher oxygen content, more pressure, less pollution, good and bad. I'm talking ancients, like thousands of years ago. There's little triangles on the edge of it, 5 2 1s, like a May 21st, 2 1 5s, 5 2 1s. It's got a water moat around it. So I'm also going to put this out there. You can do whatever you want with it. The ancients, the reason they would put a moat around the castle is not just for protection, because the castle now becomes an island and becomes a higher tier on the banking structure. I believe pirate ships were also considered mobile sovereign like wealth funds. Think of today. In the crow's nest, the little crew guy up top, that's the little higher tier. Just like a castle has a higher tier. So if they need another level, look at the copper. It's in the Denver Capitol. It's got a second little copper tier on it. Does that mean it's a whole nother click of the dial on banking? I can't prove that. But it's another tier above. And it's top down. It's not left and right. Like when money's created, they don't just make more of it. It's a whole nother like blop, like you're popping out a baby and the next one's got even more than the first one. It's exponential, logarithmic. And it's top down. That's how the shark feeds with all this ridiculous, currency debt, whatnot, you want to call it. That's how that works. So here's what really totally blew my mind. Not only is this, and I believe it's probably part of a much bigger starport pattern. This one looks like 3. It's probably 4 under there. Just amazing. Just amazing. What actually shook me to my core was that the ancients called America Turtle Island. Now I'm here to tell you turtle represents the hollow earth. The outer shell is like the surface, and the turtle goes inwards from at least 4, now 5 directions, okay? There's 4 cardinal directions, but there's 8 rivers that go through the inner sun of the hollow earth. 4, think of like bloods and arteries. You can see this literally thousands of places all over the ancient record. You can literally find thousands of pictures of a disc with 8 spokes in the middle of a wheel, which is why they call it Land of Ticks, because it's an arachnid or a spider. Think about the spider from the IMF logo. Got 8 legs, spins a web, sits right in the side of the web. That's Eve, the whore of Babylon, spinning her web, the witches. Okay, this is how it works. No, don't have anything against women, silly. So, the ancients called America Turtle Island. Well, that STARFORT is a dead giveaway to me to look at it and say, that's a turtle. If you spoke the language of nature, which is what the ancients did, they had everything to the ancients was a sun, a moon, a penis or a vagina, an up or a down, a left or a right, a cold or a hot, a black or a white. It makes sense. You're like, they spoke languages. Just like today, if we say this person's a fox or this person, they call Emerson Mnangagwa or something. The croc in Zimbabwe. Herod was a fox. Obama's a fox. Trump is, I don't know. I wouldn't know what to call him. I hope everybody repents. They're all devils. It's just incredible. I don't care what anybody thinks. I don't care your money. I don't care. I mean, what can you do? All you can do is come up and kill me and send me to heaven. What are you going to do? That looks like a frigging turtle, which means the entire nation of America was a STARFORT. You must think bigger, 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 bigger. If you're going to get around me and understand this stuff, you need to just expand your consciousness to the tippy top of God. Not me. I've never, nothing without, Jesus. Fine. I'm telling you, you don't want to pay the price I did to see the stuff I do. Was begged for death, torture. I thank Jesus for saving my life. Someday it'll be rewarded. Virtue is its own reward. Jesus is its own reward. If nobody gave me anything, he's just that badass. He knows. He does know. For those of you who paid a price and you think you not get reward, he knows. Think about the friends you had in your life, how many of them are fake, and every now and then one's cool or helps you move. Jesus knows who the real friends are. That wasn't my plan for this video, but hey, there you go. So, that means the entire nation, as God brings to my attention, the whole thing. If you look at the nation, now this is not new. David Childress, who's in it, they'll tell you, the ancients called it Turtle Island. If you think in your head, look at like Maine, maybe that's the head, then one of the legs is Florida, and the other one's Baja, and then this is how they did it. Remember, I don't know anybody who doesn't believe that geography changes over time. I mean, that's just silly. However it goes down, I'm not a geologist, tectonic plates and all that, but things move. So it may have looked exactly like a STARFORT at one point. I don't know. But I am telling you, that was a STARFORT in the first Earth age. And if that's the case, then that means America was like the crown of Lucifer in the first Earth age. It was probably, to be perfectly honest, it probably was the Atlantis in the first Earth age, and it was up in the sky, and it was Lucifer's throne room, the celestial city up in the air. And then it went boom. When the remnant of spiritual Israel in the first Earth age just said, enough. Whoosh. It's like Tiamat came down, the planet between, I believe it's Mars and Jupiter, exploded in the asteroid belts, and then they created all these Grand Canyons and 10,000 lakes. Think about it. What would an asteroid, what would a planet blowing up? If they blew up the Death Star, some of it's going to hit us and create all kinds of cataclysms. Some people claim with Sudbury and Canada that, I don't know everything. I don't pretend to. If nothing else, I do hope this stimulates your thought, because once I saw this with the three staggered, and I'm like, where is that? They call it the Netherlands. I'm like, oh, man. Now, if you people do hear from me and learn from me, you need to look up Tartaria. It's like a kind of a Russian Muslim Moor uprising. And the Moors, these are the unity conscious. This lady, Michelle Gibson, she would claim to be, she would probably call herself like a Moor Buddhist Hinduist. What she is a Solomonite pegger. Yes, these are people are prefiguring everything with their alphanumeric codes, and their job is to be like this sacred neutral watcher. To basically it goes like this. It's like, remember this date. That's in 1824, but you'll never pay attention to it. RTD. Or it's like, I was just downright dirty and distraught. That's a 444 code. But then I was friendly with my new family, and we had fun. That's a 666 run. Okay? Now, everything that's not FFF is necessarily, 666. But when they do it, and they're like, it was just, frankly, friendly and fun. Okay. When you hear something like that from somebody who's popular and who isn't going to renounce Lucifer and all secret societies, like me, I do that. I'm less than crap without Jesus. No devil worshiper can do that. I don't want to even know what they would do to them. But that's why they don't feel like they can never get out of here. The other day I saw this video with David Gilmour. It said, no one gets out of here. It's because he sold his soul. It breaks my heart. I play guitar. It breaks my heart to see these people trapped, and yet they're just constantly rewarded for it. Really just amazing. So this STARFORT, folks, the entire country. was a STARFORT at one point. So then you have to ask yourself, I'm doing this right now. You know, the geographic center of the country is Lebanon, Kansas, because I live here in Overland Park, Kansas. Curious. Very curious. Is that the spoke? I don't know. Why they name it Lebanon, a country in the Middle East with the 1,000-foot cedars they used to have, and the king of Tyre, and Lucifer art thou fallen? Curious. Very curious. I just want you to look at this. I will try to keep this video not too long. If you can support me, thank you. If not, just please post it. That's fine. This stuff is amazing. I mean, it blew my mind when I realized that it's called, you have to connect the dots from the whole thing. That's the dominion, the crown of a hollow earth. And that's why Shakespeare said, like, you know, this is the new Atlantis. Just mind-blowing. Forgive me, Jesus, my everything's wrong. I pray for any of you out there, and if any of you step out in faith just because you feel like it, you're healed in the name of Jesus. Truth. That's love equals life. Love you guys. Thanks.